Hi everyone. Today I'm starting a new series called Challenges, I guess. So what I'm going to do is pick a challenge from Leetcode.com and then just work my way through it, I suppose. It's been a while since I did any of those. I used to do these when I was just learning computer science, software development kind of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see how easy or how difficult they actually still are. So I've got this list, which is something that you can obtain. Just go to leetcode.com and then go through any of those. You might need to create an account though. It seems I solved 40 out of 1900, so there's still lots to do here. Let's go with the acceptance rate. So I'll start with the easy ones and then see if I can actually solve them. These seem to be locked. You probably need to subscribe or some kind of do something. So let's go with this one. Right, what do we need to do here? So these challenges are quite useful if you're practicing a very specific subset of software development, like algorithms or data structures. But generally speaking, they're not there to really, test any other software development skills that you'll still need to have, things like designing APIs, working at high level sort of thing. Okay, you're given a string, right? String S, that one, has lowercase English letters, it's even indices, and digits, and it's odd indices. Zero indexed. What do you mean by zero indexed? The fact that it starts at zero index? It always does. That's just weird phrasing. There's a function, shift C is a character and X is a digit, returns the nth. I know why they're using X. I would have used N. Nth character after C. Okay. Right, so it's A, B, C, D, F, and that's 5 indices. Okay, yep, got it. For every odd index I, you want to replace the digit It is clear, by the way, on your screen. I'm just going to go 150% zoom on this, because I don't really need this bit. I'm going to use IntelliJ. And yeah, so if this is going to be a series, let's write down some rules, I guess, or at least talk about them. How about no Google, no Stack Overflow, I suppose no nothing. So the only thing I can use for this thing is going to be my IDE, which is IntelliJ. That should provide some context to this series. And then we'll see if we need to change the rules as needed. For every odd index, you want to replace the digit SI with Yeah, I think it's just easier to look at this thing, input and output. Given S, which is this, output is A, B, C, D, E, F. because we do this, which shifts the thing in front of it by the index. Okay. No, not by the index, by the actual digit, right? Okay, let's copy this in here, and then we have something to work with. I think that's pretty much the only thing I need at this point. And maybe the second example. Okay, back to our land now. Replace digits. So the output needs to be this. And what do we know about even indices? We don't touch, right? It's just the odd ones. So I suppose we need to go through every single index length, right? Because, yeah, that is going to be, so if I is not 0, if I modulo division to not 0, that means it's odd because there's a remainder. So if this thing is odd, we have to do something. And we have to do something based on the previous index. So what we need to do is simply get the thing, get the character C as char at I minus 1. Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks ID. It's telling me that it's going to fail because in here it works, but outside it starts with 0. So 0 minus 1 is giving us minus 1, which means char at minus 1 is going to fail. That's fine. So we got the character that we need to shift. And it's even giving us a function that we'll need this or at some point. It's going to return a character. Okay, shift. It takes a character. It takes a takes number of times to move to shift the character. So offset is probably the right word. And what we can do is just do this, right? Plus the offset. It's saying us that we can't convert. So we'll have to, how about we just do this, typecast it. Should work, right? I'll just quickly check this. If I shift A by 1, I should get a B. Yeah, that's fine. And if I shift C, I should get a D. Cool. So this thing works. Back to this thing now. This is the character that we're shifting, and we need to obtain the offset. The offset is the digit at that position, at I. So it's this one, which needs to be converted to an int. And since it's a single digit, it always is an int. So we can just pass an int from a character which we're going to turn to a string. That'll do. I suppose we could do it sort of the more formal way. There we go. And then replace digits, and we have to return a new string. So we have to build it ourselves, right? I'm using vars over here. I don't know if this thing runs Java 11 and higher. Well, if the compilation fails, we'll know. So let's just focus on this thing, result, and we're going to return the result. So if it's a character, then we just result plus the character, right? Oh, I'm saying we shouldn't do that, yeah. But it's a performance thing rather than logic related issue. And then when it comes to this bit, then we are adding this, which returns a character, which works, hopefully. Now we can just test it, replace digits with this, and I should be getting A, B, C, D, E, F. Cool. Let's try another one. Let's do this one. And see if the output matches. If it does, then we may have solved it. If it doesn't, A, B, B, D something. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's try that. Oh yeah, I need to do it slightly differently because they've already got the public string thing. That should work though. How do I, okay, let's run test the code. Accept it. I think that means it's correct. So I can submit it now. Okay, so it worked, is all it's saying. Okay, yeah, that looks good to me. Let's go back. I hope I get a check mark. Nice. All right, let's do another one. There's still a bit of time. Let's do this one. That is unlocked. Well, the description of this thing looks much easier. Sentence is always words separated by a single space with no leading or trailing spaces. Makes sense? Okay, we're given a sentence S and an integer K. All right. So just truncate and then trim? Is that what they need? In which case, I don't think I need to use an IDE even for this one. Because isn't it just substring? of k plus something, right? No, it's between 0 because we start at 0, and we need to go up to, oh, it's words, not characters. Okay. So we need to iterate. We need to find I assume we don't need to check for edge cases like k. Well, we're going to have k number of words anyway, kind of thing. Constraints. K is in the range. Cool. Don't know why I need that, but okay. By a single space. Now there is an interesting way of solving this. It's going to probably take, in terms of runtime, quite a bit of time. But you can split the string into all of its elements and separated by the space, so like this thing, and then construct a sentence using the first k words. It's not going to be fast, but you know, it's one way of doing that. The most straightforward, I guess, is to just go through the characters, check how many spaces we got, and then, yeah, that might be just easier to write actually. So we're going to go, well, we need a result. And then we need to go through the string and then if this character is a space, then we count, right? So we need num spaces, and then we're going to increase that by 1. If we have reached because how does it work? So 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space. That means we have reached the number of words to be in a sentence. So these ones. So we stop. So this is where we stop. And this thing equals that thing. And we need to break. We need to do something and then break. And then return the result. Before we do this, we need to we need to populate the result string. So it's something along the lines of that, right? Actually do this, get the character, because we need to add the character to the string anyway. And then if num space is reached, then we return, in which case we don't do anything. We do need to trim that last bit of space though. Alternatively, we could move things around, right? So we do this. Let's try that. Oh, yeah, this thing needs to be there. There we go. So something is accepted, so I can submit, hopefully. And it's all done. Nice. Right, so in this video, we looked at two interestingly phrased challenges. And the good news is they are indeed easy, so I should be able to go through most of the easy ones and then eventually reach medium and hard should the series continue. And once we go through all of them, it's going to take a bit of time. I mean, if I'm going to be doing 2 per session, I'm going to need a couple of weeks for that to get through all 1900 of them. But we'll see how it goes. And let me know if you have any other suggestions related to how you might have solved this particular or these 2 challenges. I mean, there are many solutions. That's what computer science really is. For every given problem, you have at least several solutions, and you just pick the ones that are most, well, at this point, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. But in the real world, because this is kind of simulated world, as it were, in the real world, you would use the constraints to inform the solution that you're going to use. That's usually either runtime or space complexity, if you have that, and potentially the APIs that you can or cannot use. On that note, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.